Did you know Britain's factories built a $500 billion empire? From humble workshops to roaring steam giants, this industrial revolution reshaped wealth forever. But behind the smoke and steel lies a story of ambition, struggle, and transformation. Stick around, because today we're uncovering the hidden financial secrets of Britain's rise and the timeless lessons you can use in 2025. Welcome to Historian, where we travel through time to unlock the future. Today, we journey to 18th century Britain. Here, the Industrial Revolution wasn't just about machines. It was a mirror of power, innovation, and the dangerous gamble of unchecked growth. Let's step inside this urban time machine and explore how factories forged an empire of wealth. Our story begins in the 1760s. Britain was no global powerhouse yet. It was a small island of farmers and craftsmen. But in Manchester, Birmingham, and Sheffield, a quiet storm was brewing. Tiny cotton workshops began multiplying, spinning threads faster than human hands ever could. Coal mines in the northeast dug deeper each year, their black fuel turning wooden contraptions into roaring iron machines. By 1880, Britain's coal production was twice that of Europe's next competitor. And then came the cotton mills. Powered by rivers and eventually steam, they transformed Manchester into Cottonopolis. By 1800, Britain produced more textiles than the entire world combined. Think about that. One nation clothing half the planet. It wasn't glamorous. These early factories were grimy, loud, and dangerous. But they laid the foundation of global trade and commerce. Lesson 1: small sparks ignite lasting empires. Rome had its legions, New York had its skyscrapers, and Britain had its mills. The common thread? Diversification fuels dominance. The 19th century brought Britain's golden age, the steam revolution. In 1830, the Liverpool-Manchester railway opened. What once took a day's journey now took hours. Suddenly, goods, ideas, and people flowed at lightning speed. Iron bridges crossed rivers, canals stitched together cities, and factories multiplied like wildfire. Between 1800 and 1850, Britain's population doubled, from 10 million to 20 million. Cities swelled with workers, investors, and entrepreneurs hungry for fortune. This was Britain's skyscraper moment. Just like Wall Street's race for the tallest towers, British industrialists competed fiercely. Whose mill could spin faster, whose mine could dig deeper, whose factory could outproduce the rest. Rivalries bred innovation, but also reckless risks. Lesson 2: bold infrastructure investments can supercharge growth, but overreach can backfire. Step into Manchester in 1840. The skies are gray with smog. The air tastes of coal. Rivers run black with dye from textile mills. In cramped slums, families of 10 squeeze into a single damped room. Inside the factories, children as young as 6 worked 12-hour shifts, fingers raw from cotton fibers. Women bent over looms until their backs ached. Men labored in iron foundries, hotter than volcanoes. Yes, Britain grew rich, but at a staggering human cost. Half of Manchester's population lived in slums, disease spread like wildfire, and life expectancy in industrial towns was barely 30 years. Yet from this suffering, reform was born. Campaigners like Lord Shaftesbury fought for child labor laws. Unions rose to demand fair wages. The Factory Acts limited working hours, planting the seeds for modern labor rights. Today's takeaway? Growth without balance destroys itself. Profit without people fails. And history warns us, unchecked ambition always comes with a price. By the mid-1800s, Britain wasn't just leading, it was dominating. Its factories produced 50% of the world's cotton, 70% of its steel, and controlled half of global trade. It was the first truly global economy, and Britain was its CEO. But every empire faces its test. Overconfidence set in. The same steam engines that powered progress also fueled exploitation. Colonies drained for raw materials, workers pushed to a breaking point, and rivals like Germany and the US quietly caught up. By 1900, Britain's lead was slipping. America's oil and steel giants outproduced British mills. Germany's science-driven industries challenged Britain's dominance. The lesson? No empire is invincible. Overextension can topple giants, just as Rome, Spain, and others before Britain discovered. So what can Britain's industrial story teach us in 2025? 1. Foundations matter. Britain's empire began not with grand railways, but with small mills and coal pits. In our world, skills, savings, and small ventures are the true seeds of long-term success. 2. Calculated risks build empires. The railway boom transformed trade, just like today's AI and green tech revolutions. Big moves pay off, but only with smart planning. 3. Adapt or decline. Britain thrived because it embraced steam and iron, but faltered when it clung to old methods. Today, those who adapt to green energy, digital finance, and automation will lead tomorrow. 4. Balance profit with people. Britain learned the hard way. Child labor and slums nearly broke its society. For 2025, the warning is clear. Businesses must protect people, or they'll collapse under public backlash. 5. Watch the warning signs. Britain's rivals rose while it celebrated victory. Today, whether you're an investor, entrepreneur, or policymaker, never ignore the quiet competitors waiting in the wings. That's the financial empire forged by Britain's factories, a story of sparks, steam, and struggle. From grimy mills to global powerhouses, Britain's industrial revolution built wealth that still shapes our world today. But the greatest lesson: empires rise not just on machines, but on vision, balance, and the courage to adapt. If you loved this time-traveling journey, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join our historian tribe. Want more industrial tales? Drop more industrial tales in the comments, and don't miss our next adventure on London's architectural rise. Until then, think like an industrial pioneer. Plan big, adapt smart, and never forget, the future is built in the factories of today.